Okay, guys, so we did our 3-touch plan before the listing appointment. Now it's time to start getting ready for the actual listing appointment. And one of the most important things about getting ready for the listing appointment is understanding what that house is going to sell for in your current market. And of course, the way we're going to do that is by utilizing MLS and pulling comps. Now, there's a lot of different ways to pull comps, and your team leaders and your lead listing agents are going to help you really dive into the right and wrong way to pull comps. But here's a quick overview, a suggestion of a great way to do it. And this is how I ran every single one of my listing appointments, is I would look at all the comps before the listing appointment. I would look at the market, the neighborhood, what's going on around there. I would search by MLS area, I would search by school district and get a really good understanding of what's going around. And then what I would do is I would narrow it down to the 3 best comps. Comp number 1 was always a property that was better than the subject property. Comp number 2 was always worse than the subject property. And number 3 was the closest possible match that I could find to it. And when we go into the listing presentation section of this module, I'll show you and tell you how I presented those things. So that's how I would pull the comps, really get a good understanding of not just those 3 comps. Don't stop there. You want to be able to go there and talk intelligently about the entire market as a whole, their actual area, their MLS area, their school district, maybe even their neighborhood. You really want to get granular. And that way, when you present those 3 properties, it's not like, hey, I only looked at these 3. I have a great understanding of the market as a whole. Here are the 3 properties that we're going to be, basically competing against. Obviously, you're going to have to print and prepare the required documents. Now, guys, I'm going to give you a ninja trick here. You're going to pre-fill almost everything on the listing agreement. Put the client's name, the tax map number, the subdivision, the lot and block, whatever else your listing agreement suggests that you put in there or requires you to put in there. 2 things that I would not put in there walking into the house. I would not put the listing price, and I would not put the compensation, the commission. And the reason why is we know very likely what the house should list for and what it should sell for. But if you go in there and presume and just say, hey, we're going to sell the property at $400,000, and that's not the number they had in their head, they may take offense to that. And the way I found that out is I did exactly that. I walked into a listing appointment one time, and I just knew that this was a $250,000 house. And I had wrote $250,000 on there, like, we need to sell this house at $250,000. And I ended up not getting that listing because they didn't feel like it was a collaboration, that they didn't have any say, that this is what I was telling them they needed to do. So that's a mistake I didn't make again. And then commissions, of course, especially with after the settlement, there's some different options there. So you want to work through those together. Obviously, whatever your market center, your state requires, those are the documents you want to bring for them to sign. The listing agreement, MLS input sheet if there is one, seller's disclosure, seller's net sheet. Guys, this is a big one. Always complete a seller's net sheet and then have the clients sign that seller's net sheet. I promise you that is going to save you later down the road if numbers look off. Not only should you do a seller's net sheet at that very first listing presentation, you should also do a seller's net sheet for every single offer, and we'll talk about that later. We have a listing packet for you guys in the Google Drive. You could just search listing packet, and it's going to be in there. And here's how I would set it up. I would put everything on the left side of the folder is your presentation, your listing presentation and the comps. Everything on the right side is your documents for signature. And, put your business card in there too. Going there prepared and having everything neat and organized allows for a seamless listing presentation, and it gives the impression that you guys came prepared. You have everything ready to go, and you're ready to get to work for them. Now, this is going the extra mile. This piece right here is bringing an item of value. So the item of value, or some examples of items of value, are like a 4-pack of magic erasers, a small candle, a touch-up paint kit, right? And I'll talk a little bit more about this in the listing presentation aspect, the walkthrough of the house, but I always implemented an item of value during my listing presentation, so they had something tangible in their hands that was like, oh yeah, Brandon gave me this. So we'll talk more about that, but that's going the extra mile. That's a way to stand out from your competition, because I promise you they're not doing anything like that. So the next thing that you want to do too, and we're going to talk about this in the next section, is generate a homeward and open door offer for every single listing. Now, I've already told you about how in the initial phone call that these programs aren't going to be a fit for everybody, but they may be a fit for some people, and especially online internet leads, seller leads. They're looking for multiple selling options, right? So we're going to present multiple selling options, and then if they're looking to get the most money possible out of the sale of their house, those offers are just going to make your listing presentation look even better. So generate a cash offer on every single deal, and you just can present it very easily, and we'll talk about that during the listing presentation section too. So those are some things that you should be doing to get ready for the listing appointment. Thanks, guys.